sweetheart. Be reasonable. After all, we're married.
But I'm leaving you. Woman, I've got to put you down.
Consider that a divorce.
Well, if you can't treat me right, ain't no use of me hanging around.
This is a clipping from a Catholic newspaper from February 28th of 1934. It discusses a Lenten campaign to reach out to fallen away Catholics. Bishop Urban J. Venner, Bishop of the Diocese of Denver, said, "As we know, many have become careless and indifferent owing to the baneful effects of mixed marriages, which are not decreasing in number." So, in 1934, it seems that mixed marriages were considered a leading cause of Catholics falling away from the faith. According to the Baltimore Catechism, question: how does the Church show its displeasure at mixed marriages? And the answer: the Church shows its displeasure at mixed marriages by the coldness with which it sanctions them, prohibiting all religious ceremony at them, by forbidding the priest to use any sacred vestments, holy water, or blessing of the ring at such marriages, by prohibiting them also from taking place in the church or even the sacristy. On the other hand, the Church shows its joy and approval at a true Catholic marriage by the nuptial mass and solemn ceremonies. Also, according to the Baltimore Catechism, question: why should Catholics avoid mixed marriages? Answer: Catholics should avoid mixed marriages because they are displeasing to the Church and cannot bring with them the full measure of God's grace and blessing. 2. Because the children should have a good example of both parents in the practice of their religion. 3. Because such marriages give rise to frequent disputes on religious questions between husband and wife and between their relatives. And 4. Because the one not a Catholic, disregarding the sacred character of the sacrament, may claim a divorce and marry again, leaving the Catholic married and abandoned. Also, according to the Baltimore Catechism, question: does the Church seek to make converts by its laws concerning mixed marriages? Answer: the Church does not seek to make converts by its laws concerning mixed marriages, but seeks only to keep its children from losing their faith and becoming perverts by the constant company with persons not Catholics. The Church does not wish persons to become Catholics merely for the sake of marrying Catholics. Such conversions are, as a rule, not sincere, do no good, but rather make such converts hypocrites and guilty of greater sins, especially the sins of sacrilege. Finally, question: why does the Church dislike mixed marriages? Answer: the Church dislikes mixed marriages because such marriages are frequently unhappy, give rise to many disputes, and endanger the faith of the Catholic member of the family, and prevent the religious education of children. The position of the Church was explained by Father Linus Riordan in a syndicated article that ran in Catholic newspapers prior to the Second Vatican Council. Father Riordan wrote that the Church advises Catholics to marry Catholics. She knows from long experience that the differences in religious beliefs endanger the happiness of both parties and threaten the stability of the marriage. He continued, the Church has found that mixed marriages lead to religious indifference on the part of the husband and wife and to the neglect of the religious upbringing of the children. Accordingly, because of the obligation imposed upon her by Christ, the Church disapproves such marriages. Therefore, it's not surprising that Canon 1064 of the Code of Canon Law of 1917 says, "Ordinaries and other pastors of souls shall discourage, whenever possible, the faithful from mixed weddings. Also, if they are unable to impede them, they shall studiously take care that they not be contracted against the laws of God or the Church." So is there a comparable canon in the Code of Canon Law of 1983? You're probably expecting me to say that there isn't. But actually, Canon 1124 of the Code of Canon Law of 1983 isn't really all that bad. Without express permission of the competent authority, a marriage is prohibited between two baptized persons, of whom one is baptized in the Catholic Church or received into it after baptism and has not defected from it by a formal act, and the other, of whom is enrolled in a church or ecclesiastical community not in full communion with the Catholic Church. So, other than the gibberish about full communion, which implies that there might be such an actual thing as partial communion, this isn't a bad canon. The problem is that it isn't really taken seriously by anyone. The express permission of the competent authority is given as a matter of course nowadays. And this isn't surprising, since the post-conciliar church no longer refers to Protestants as members of heretical sects. In newspeak, they're called separated brethren. The post-conciliar church no longer seriously discourages mixed marriages. It's too busy taking part in the sacred services of non-Catholics, which incidentally is a violation of Canon 1258 of the Code of Canon Law of 1917, which says it is not licit for the faithful by any manner to assist actively or to have any part in the sacred rites of non-Catholics. Is there anyone watching this video who doesn't know of a Catholic who married a non-Catholic and then had their seemingly valid marriage end in an annulment? It would not be surprising because, as we read in the Baltimore Catechism, the one who is not a Catholic, disregarding the sacred character of the sacrament, may claim a divorce and marry again, leaving the Catholic married and abandoned. So maybe you know of one such marriage. Maybe you know of two such marriages. Maybe you know of three, maybe four. Maybe a better question I should ask you is whether do you know of any mixed marriages that didn't end in a divorce and where the Catholic spouse still continues to be a faithful Catholic? Mixed marriages are a bad idea, and the post-conciliar church doesn't really even care about the problem anymore. And this is just one of the many causes of the increase in the rates of annulments in the post-conciliar church. While I hope you enjoyed this installment, we'll be back again in about a week with another one, but in the meantime, please check out my Facebook page, which is linked down below. Every day I post additional content that you won't find on this YouTube channel, and please pray for the church.
Let's